Hello everyone, welcome back to Full Throttle Online. I'm your host Doug Townsend, and as always joined by Full Throttle Motor Speedway owner-operator Gord Bennett. Gord, the show we're going to talk about 2014 in review, a year in review that turned into an 8-month whirlwind in review for you here at Full Throttle taking over the Speedway. And my first question's got to be looking back at 2014. Why buy this Speedway?
Really, I looked at it, everybody asks me that all the time, especially my wife, but realistically I bought it because the passion of the sport. I'm no different than the guys who race the cars, being a past racer, racing across the United States and Canada, all over the place, many a times, going to, I don't know, hundreds of racetracks. And then I became involved with Speedway and helped Glenn out as a general manager for a season there, and turned what they had into more what you see today there. They've obviously grown it from there, but you know, I had the idea that it was definitely I could help, and I did, and then I moved on to purchase another Speedway, which didn't work out, and then I ended up buying this one. So I love racing, and so I had the opportunity. Actually, back in 1988, I had Tom Donnelly was here, and I stopped in one day, and but he didn't own it then.
No, he was. Just
and then I kind of inquired a bit, and then life went on, and then now I have the opportunity, and I'm the owner now.
Yeah, all right. But with this facility, major uphill battle with this place when you bought it. I mean, it was virtually a ghost track when you bought it. So you had a major...
It could have been a ghost track.
Very easily.
It was, I couldn't see it opening. I know that the previous owners, the Noons, they had a go at it, and then before it was Kenny McClellan had to go, and then Alex Hamilton, I think, and then originally it was the Kennedys, so it kind of went through
it's gone through its phases.
Different stuff, and Kenny spent a bunch of money getting it to the track that you, the layout that you see today, and so, you know, I see potential. I see that this is, you know, honestly, I've been in the market for a racetrack for a little bit, and I looked at bigger speedways, you know, half miles, 5/8 mile type of stuff, and really noticed that the little quarter mile tracks are the ones that are flourishing. They're the ones that are, you know, there's more action. The cars now, you don't get the car counts that you used to, like the old day car counts, just not anymore. So a little quarter mile, you can get away with it. Like you do a 12, 14, 16 car show on a half mile, and you don't get the same presentation.
No.
So,
yeah. So in taking over the track, a lot of, I won't say obstacles, but a lot of work right off the bat. The name change to Full Throttle, to change the image, the brand there. Major cleanup, format change to the races, all that.
It was called Barney since 1969, and they started racing in 70. And actually my dad won the, I don't know.
One of the first.
Yeah, I think he won one of the first special invitational, like a run what you brung type of race. I think he won one or two or whatever. Had a confrontation. He won the race, and then the corner guy said he got black flagged and whatever. He said, "I'll never come back to the track," and then obviously I bought it. He's back.
He's come back. Yes, come back in a big way this summer.
Yeah, so it was Varney. I think that you know, people still call Varney. I got no problem with that. But Full Throttle, I had Full Throttle marketing and promotions. I go through around to racetracks with 2-seaters, show cars at Walmarts and stuff, a whole bunch of stuff. So we had our brand, and I thought it was time to bring Full Throttle brand to Full Throttle Motor Speedway now, which was Varney.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that the whole name change and everything kind of made a whole image change. It helped with the whole image change.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing is image. You know, like unfortunately, the track through the years really kind of got in between the cracks.
Yeah.
There was, oh, you got to go to this track, you got to go to that track type of thing, where it became, you know, the Varney was never really thought of as a premier facility of sorts, or, you know, it was redneck type of scenario.
Yeah.
But you know what, it's not. It's actually, you know what, it's so good that TV people, like the TV service providers here, and gonna do stuff in 2015. So, you know, with what we've done in 2014, what we're doing in 2015, my biggest thing is I always want to be 5 years into it.
Yeah.
Not the first, like it's only been since May 1st. Yeah. We went May 23rd was our first race. Yeah. You know, and it went from there, and it was a whirlwind that we're standing past Christmas talking about the 2014 review.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing year, but I obviously want it to be further than it is, and I have to have patience. It's kind of like racing, you know. You don't go 3 wide in the first corner, and I kind of did that a bit with some of the promotional stuff I did this year. What works at other tracks doesn't work here necessarily. So I had to learn about the fans, the amazing fans, and the community. This is a community speedway.
Yeah.
Like these people just treat this track like it's their own, and I love it. Even in, you know, up to including yesterday, people coming and wanting to look around and help in any way. Like it's every day. It's like that. It's like you go into a store or a bank, and you know it's the community speedway. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. They have a real passion for it.
Oh,
in this area. Some of the hurdles, I'll say, that you experienced this year with the season, as I say, starting off buying it May 1st, and the first race was the 23rd of May. You didn't run with any home track rules this year because basically everybody by May was committed to other speedways, so you allowed home track rules, everybody to come and run home track rules.
Yeah, like invitational.
Basically an invitational every Friday night, which I think really worked out well, especially in the kickoff season, because it allowed people from other speedways to come in. They didn't have to change their setup. It allowed other guys to try the track that maybe hadn't tried it in a number of years.
I honestly didn't have a choice.
No, you didn't.
When I bought the place, I didn't know if there was a car or a fan or anything coming to the speedway. So my only real option was to say, okay, you know, I called audibles all year on, you know, behind the scenes stuff. But when it came to that, we didn't have handicap system. We still don't. I don't agree with the handicap system. You know, if you come in and you want to race here 1 week, you have equal opportunity to, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, through the whole scenario, we just ran it like an invitational, and that's how we got through year 1.
Yeah, and too, again, with that scenario, it changed the look of things for the fans too, because going to a 2-feature format as opposed to heats at a feature, really it changed the whole night from drivers, fans, everybody, because I mean you're basically getting 2 shows for the price of 1. Yeah.
Well, we just did away with the heats because you know, I didn't want to put the people to sleep before intermission. That, you know, you got little kids and stuff like that. That was probably the biggest reason. There's nothing worse than seeing people go and bring all their little kids to the races, and this is family entertainment.
Yeah.
This Full Throttle Motor Speedway, or any speedway, is supposed to be family entertainment. So what we did is we had the double feature, so all the cars go out in the first thing. So if your kids are tired in intermission, you still got your money's worth. There's nothing worse than, you know, spending your hard-earned money to come and spend it at my speedway or any speedway and feel that you didn't get what you wanted out of it. So, You know, that was the biggest reason behind the double features, and it gives everybody equal opportunity as a racer to, if you start at the back of the one, you start at the front of the other. It's like, you know, and you get to see, you know, everybody have equal opportunity at winning races.
Yeah. Another thing I found too this year with your change and first off, you know, you went to Friday night, which you know, it works for some people, doesn't work for other people's, but no, any night or anything you do doesn't do that. But what I heard from a lot of people was the fact that you could come Friday night, and I heard from a lot of racers too, you could come Friday night, they could get their race fix, and they still had the whole weekend for their family.
Yeah. Boy.
To do other things Saturday and Sunday.
Well, all the racetracks are running on Saturday night, so it was kind of a no-brainer to say, hey, I don't really know how many cars are coming and all that stuff, so let's give everybody an opportunity to come and race on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Now, our biggest hurdle was that people didn't necessarily take their holidays and stuff,
yeah,
or know
yeah,
how it played out. So we had guys come in and try it and had fun, and then you wouldn't see them again. You're like, what? You know, like they come and win a race, and then you might not see them the next week. And that's how, in my head, once people came and saw what we're doing, and saw how much fun it was, and saw that it was decent money, that they would keep coming back, and it didn't necessarily work like that. So overall,
it was interesting because I noticed our car counts were fairly consistent throughout the whole year in every class, but there was a handful of different drivers every night.
Yeah, we'd have like 2 or 3 new cars in each class, and still have the same car count.
Yeah,
you know, and it's not even from the people that I really pissed off. You know, like there was people that I had issues with through the summer, and you know, as a track owner and my passion, anybody who knows me knows that, hey, what you see is what you get from me. There's no, I'm not two-faced.
No.
I come right to your face.
Yeah.
And you know, and that doesn't mean that. That's the unfortunate part. Like I had some issues with some people this year and stuff like that, and I would like to see things different ways or whatever. But on the end, this is my speedway, and it is representing to the fans and to the other people trying to come to the racetrack that you can load your car up at the end of the night, and that's an opportunity to come back the next week.
Exactly.
Like Carl, the flagman, every week, our driver's meeting, take what you can get, don't overdrive, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And you know what, that's a great formula.
Yeah.
Like I don't need cars being ripped up. It's too expensive and too time consuming anymore.
Yeah. And that leads me to another point where something you've done now going forward for 2015, and I know something you've preached all along, is getting racing back to basics, getting it back to affordability.
Yeah.
And it goes back to something that I know, as I say, you're promoting, and I know even Humpy Wheeler in the States is promoting on Facebook and everything. You don't need series and cars where you've got to put $1,000 shock in every corner, and you got to buy 4 new tires every race, and you got to, you know, spend.
Yeah.
That only works for an elite few that have the sponsors and the dollars to back them. You want to get back to the blue collar, the guys, you know, fixing it in the driveway and in the garage, and make it affordable for families to come back to racing.
Yeah. Well, that's been the biggest question mark in racing. In a lot of rules making and stuff, it seems to be the top teams and the people that don't know what the heck they're doing making rules, getting rid of good quality race cars. Like you got a full field of cars, and then you go and you change the rules. Now I've changed rules, but I've done it because of cost effectiveness, because I didn't make the rules in the past years and years and years. Now I have an opportunity to say, hey, we're not worried about the top 4 guys that no matter what rules I make, they're going to show up anyways. Right? They're not the ones who dictate what goes on at the Speedway, and I don't need to present a 4-car race to the fans. So I think it was about, there's more cars sitting at home that the guys feel that I'm not competitive because of this or that. You know, like, why couldn't a 10, 15, 20-year-old race car have the same opportunity as, you know, a car that's brand new?
Yeah.
You know, I understand the economics of racing, that no matter what, you can build a $30,000 pure stock if you want.
Yeah.
And one guy works 7 days a week on his car, and another guy pumps the air and the tires and comes and expects to come and win every week. It doesn't work like that.
No.
But I also do the same thing with the Speedway. Like, it's December 30th.
Yeah.
What have I done all year? I didn't just close the gate up. I'm out there pounding the streets, rebuilding stuff, painting stuff, doing stuff. Creating programs, doing stuff for 2050.
Yeah.
Right? I'm rebuilding the Speedway through the winter.
Yeah.
I didn't just lock the gate and say, oh, geez,
walk away.
yeah. I'll see you in May.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that, and you know, other owners can do what they want. I love this sport, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it the best possible facility that I can. Yeah. Will it be the best one in the area? Who knows? I know there's lots of people with deep pockets doing it at other places.
Yeah.
But when it comes to grassroots quality race, you know, little short tracks that you can afford to race at.
Yeah. Entertainment too.
Full Throttle Motor Speedway.
That's it. All right. Kind of shift focus a bit here. We'll go on to some of the different things that happened. Some of the highlights, I guess, from 2014. Anyway, that stick out in my mind. And one of them had to be Gary Elliott in his open wheel modified feature win here. I think Gary commented that was his first race in his owned car since 2008 or something like that.
Yeah.
And to beat Gary McLean in Gary's backyard to do it was you couldn't wipe the smile off Gary Elliott's face.
Oh no, that was great because, you know, like, Gary's he's getting to the end of his career, and to pull out a win was very special. Again, I've known Gary for years and years and years and years, and you know, I took over the Speedway. I got a call from him. He said that he would help in any way possible to, you know, he'll show up if he has a car to come here and race, and he did all year. One thing I did notice is Gary, after racing here, seemed to pick up the pace at other tracks. I think racing here in the small confines of this Speedway and going fast means that he went to other speedways, and he had a chance to win almost every week. Like, he ran really, really good. Yeah. I'm very happy for Gary, and I'm also proud that he came and helped us out this year too.
And that's interesting, because we're kind of flipping and flopping on topics here, but it takes me back to something else too. I mean, this track, like a lot of tracks, kind of got a reputation as a one groove, and you know, you had to kind of bend fenders to get around people and all that stuff. But your ability, especially as a racer, I mean, you took the same asphalt that's been here for a great number of years, but you found a way to clean it and make it something else. And I'll go back to something that Gary McLean had mentioned when he came out in his modified the one night was, I mean, he's raced here his entire life, and he's going, I've never had grip like this. I have to adjust my car.
Well, I think that could be partially because of my dirt background and my asphalt background, and like, that was everybody when I got the track. Oh, turn 4 is the most terrible spot of any track. You know, you gotta knock the wall back, and I was like, okay, well, let me judge and figure out what I got to do with the Speedway. So what I did is I evaluated. This track builds a lot of marbles in the high groove, so we went and pretty much our Stoltz tractor became a Zamboni. In between every race, we move all the marbles right up against to the wall. We had a track blower that I built and designed that would go out and, you know, in the track. And turn 4 never became an issue after that. I've seen a lot more problems at other turn 4s at other speedways, not here. And what happened is as soon as you get out of the groove in the marbles, you would pound the wall.
Yeah.
And that's not just here. So what the guys who don't handle move up a little higher, move up a little higher, and all of a sudden you got high. Like really, the groove at this speedway is when you go into the corner, you should always be touching the right rear off the top of the wall, firing off the turn 4 or turn 2, and getting a full run off the corner. So, but you can still run the bottom and stuff. But there's definitely 2 grooves. One night we even had 4 wide. Last corner in V8 Thunderstocks. There were 4 wide going into turn 3 for the win. So, and nobody crashed. It was, you know, it's spectacular. The quality of racing here got really good.
It got really.
We never really had any cars that were tore up the whole season.
No.
Like.
I'll go back to a comment I seen on Facebook earlier in this fall was somebody that had raced here had put something on. They went to Autumn's Colors and seen more carnage in 3 laps there than they seen all
the whole season
here.
So that could go the other way
too.
But I nip it in the butt before it got too far out of control. Like there's numerous nights that you would see me on the 4-wheeler or the tow truck coming onto the speedway and taking addressing a situation and making sure that you know what, if you want to put a show on, I got lots of fans here, I'll put the show on too. And you know, moving forward, everybody that else is watching, I made an example of a couple people, but everybody knows where they stand. Didn't matter if you had 4 race cars here or if you're just running in one thing, you're all treated the same when it comes here.
All right. Back to some of the highlights of the year. Mini stock race. Clark Hartman's pass on Tim Tolton in the bottom of corner 4 for the win in the late half of the season here at Full Throttle. I know Tim. You know, Tim probably still disagrees with that one, but I know it's, as we've talked, it's a different view whether you're in the grandstand, you're behind the wheel, you're in the other car, you're, you know, 3 car lengths back. But again, showed the track and the way that, you know, if they get the right run and the right groove, they can make it stick, and nobody wrecked out of that.
No, like they weren't tore up. Tim had a few words in Victory Lane, and I actually played on it. But Tim wants to win every race, that's awesome too. You know, and he was probably surprised that Clark could drive it in as far as he did. And you know, hey, it was 8 wheels instead of 4, but he didn't really get into them that hard. So you know, good on both of them. So. I would have liked that they came off 4 and tied at the start-finish line, but you know, it was a great race.
And my other highlight of the year that I liked was again the mini stock division, and it was the night that Brian Wilson was doing the wheeling for Paul Boyd in the number 7 car. Him and Nick Clark were going at it all race long, pounding each other on the last lap going down the back straightaway. And Bobby Tolton's doing the wheeling that night for Tim in the 35 because Tim was down in Delaware. And Bobby was sitting in the catbird seat as Brian and Nick kind of got wadded up in corner 3 and allowed Bobby to sneak through on the low side.
They ran 19 of a 20-lap feature, door to door, switching it back and forth. And Bobby came from the back. He ended up right on 3rd, and then he won it at the start-finish line. It was an amazing. I think he was even surprised that
the door swung open.
Maybe we'll start calling him Moses. The seas parted for him there. So that was an awesome race. There was almost each and every night there was some great racing.
Every class, every night.
They all did. They all
did a tremendous job.
To me, that was the biggest part of all these racers that come out each and every week and put it all on the line and learned to kind of work as a group. And you know, the give and take, and it really changed. If you watch a video that is playing in the background here, type of thing, when you watch the racing that goes on to what you've seen in the past, it really changed, and the guys were all having fun.
having fun and respecting each other.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
And again, it's the whole community thing. Again, as you say, it's a community in the pits down there, and as you see them come in as pure stock drivers and not knowing too much about anything really, and other guys helping them out and getting them set up, getting them established. And then we're going to see these people progress through the different classes, the same as 2015 when we go to the junior late models and the mini trucks and stuff like that, and to see the transition of those guys through the ranks, more or less.
Yeah.
And as you say, if we can keep it affordable and keep people coming back, that's the main thing going forward. Yeah.
It will grow. I'm confident. Because I know, because of the phone calls I get, that people that haven't raced in a long time are really snooping around or doing stuff. So it's I was happy with how it was, and the promise of everything is great as well.
Yeah, it is, and as I say, I think, as you say, going forward, 2014, as you say. You didn't have established rules. It was home track rules, and it was guys that they were committed to other tracks. They were coming in though, but they were coming and they were checking it out. And I know a lot of them are now in the off season. I mean, you've got your rules basically set now for 2015. We've had all the meetings and stuff like that. The guys have had their chance to voice their opinions and everything. And again, it all boils down to economics. And a lot of the guys are looking at this speedway as a place where, you can bring an all-star car from 20 years ago and be competitive. Yeah,
and the fans got to be real happy about it, because these cars are going to look like super late models. Now, not all of them. You can still come the way that it was. I didn't make the rules to outlaw anybody or make anybody spend any money. But I definitely, if you're sitting in the grandstands, you will notice the difference in the different classes now. So,
it'll be.
So it's not all about economics. It's also about making sure the fans are getting every little, like, they work hard for their money all week. They can go and spend it anywhere they want, but they choose to come to Full Throttle, and that is that's reassuring.
Yeah. Well, again, in the change in format, I'll go back to that just for a brief second, where the green flag's going to drop at 7:30, and by 11 o'clock you're going to be heading to the parking lot to your car. It's a very condensed show, but a very well put on show, and you're well entertained for your...
Well, we actually are expanding our amount of classes because of how I've done this. So, you're going to see like 7 different classes of stuff on a regular Friday night. So because we allotted the time and the stuff to do it. So we'll try that, and it'll work. Yeah, it'll work.
All right, so that's kind of another show. We'll get into 2015 and get things really revved up for 2015. But I know closing out 2014, there's some people you want to thank and whatnot. So.
The sponsors to the Speedway that helped when it was just last minute and stuff. Chalmers Fuels, they came on board and helped us immensely with a lot of stuff. If you have any heating and fuel issues or any stuff that you want to go and buy, go talk to Nick at Chalmers. He'll more willing to help you, and tell him Full Throttle sent you. Stoltz Tractors again, our sweeper Zamboni. They helped us out and did a great job, and they're the Case IH area dealer. I think they got a few locations around, so if you're looking for tractors or any type of farm equipment and stuff, go see Stoltz. I have a real special person here. He's a videographer today, Rob Cox. He, day in and day out, I think anybody that sees him working at the Speedway, he's all in. He works very hard for us, does a great job. Project Track Champion, Denny Snyder, he puts it all together. He's there shaking hands.
He's
and
the Walmart greeter.
Another all-in person. and hopefully we'll return the favor and help him out by getting the Project Czech champion out and back out and some visibility for it, and help with the handicap people that because we're a handicap accessible speedway. Jason Legg was helped us out with the insurance at the Cooperators. Jane at Sapphire Web Design, she helped us get going last year. We got some great stuff coming for 2015. So if you have any web type stuff, you talk to Jane Kermasco, she'll help you out. We had John McDonald from Domtel, and he did all the wiring and all the stuff. He had Steve Robertson, who does all our computer work for the Speedway, and they spent all summer trying to sort out years and years of wiring, and it was a rat's nest, but it's getting sorted out. My mom and dad, it probably wouldn't have been possible to even want to pursue this without their help. I mean, they were there. They did a heck of a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Probably, you probably won't see them as much this year in the roles that they were playing because, you know, they're not as young as they used to be. And being in business and having your parents helping you, I want them to be my parents and come in and enjoy the racing more than what was going on. Like, my dad, if he wants to drive the two-seater, he's welcome. He got all the laps this year because I hurt my shoulder. So he ran a modified one night and a Thunder stock one night, and he runs a two-seater. He got zillions of laps for, you know. So yeah. And Doug Townsend, what can I say? You're the backbone behind the Speedway. So I found out that you know, when you're having a group of people, it's like assembling a hockey team. You know, and if you have really good players, well, you're the captain of the Full Throttle Motor Speedway, our staff and stuff. Like, and like, people don't realize how much time and effort you put into this to make it so they can come and have fun. My staff, like, I inherited the staff from previous. Found out some good stuff, some bad stuff. Hey, whatever. It was all good, but you know what? The staff now is family. These are people that come and they wear the yellow shirts and they say staff on the back, but they might as well say family on the back because that's the way I feel. Like, we really, by the end of the season, we really formed as one heck of a unit, and that was you know. And then I had Ingrid. She takes all the videos like you see on the monitor and stuff like that. Each and every week was taking videos. Did a heck of a job, and she sells flowers. It's icy flowers. They're in Waterloo, so anything out there. And then we had the people who took all the photographs all summer. We had Donna Tolton, Dave Franks, Terry Robards, and yeah, they did a spectacular job with taking photos. It looked like that you were at the Molson Indy or the red carpet somewhere when we had everybody all taking pictures and stuff and showing their own version of what was going on a race night. So the other thing that I'm really happy about is we had every form of government other than the Prime Minister of Canada. He hasn't been to Full Throttle yet, but you know, like, all forms of government were at the Speedway. They loved what I was doing and are behind us 100% moving forward. So that's a big thing. So,
it is.
So yeah, that's hopefully I didn't leave anybody out, but that was the key players into making 2014 what it was that we're moving on to 2015 and beyond. So yeah, and I didn't buy this just to, you know, make it good and run away from it. As you know, what looking at purchasing and building a house here and stuff like that. Like, I live here now actually already, so like, I'm not going anywhere.
In it for the long haul.
I am in it for the long haul. I mean, I think that they'll have to spread my ashes on the speedway to get rid of me now. So, yeah. So.
All right, so that kind of concludes our wrap-up of 2014, and we look forward to great things moving ahead in 2015, a lot busier season coming ahead, and a lot more announcements to be made in the upcoming weeks here on Full Throttle Online. So I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Again, I'm Doug Townsend, Gord Bennett, the owner-operator of Full Throttle Motor Speedway, and this has been a Full Throttle production.
Happy New Year, everybody.